Hey everyone, welcome to ZSR. Today we have a Zelda 2 100% all keys match. We are in the group stage. We have two simultaneous races for you to watch. We have Concision versus Lite, and we're also going to have Sheep versus Eunos. And here to tell you all about it, we have Jay and Joe, and they will take it from here.
Oh man, Jay and Joe, what a fun combo. Here we
Oh
go, right?
man, we got the Jays all up in the house here.
We're here. Can't
Thank
go
you,
wrong. All
baseball.
right. Yeah, thanks, baseball. Appreciate it. And thanks to Zelda Speedruns. All right, we got our runners ready to go. It's been an exciting day and lots to look forward to coming up.
Absolutely. So we got 3 out of the 4 have readied up. The only one that has yet to ready up is Eunos. As soon as he's good, we will be starting the countdown. What's up, everybody in chat? Thank you for hanging out with us. We hope to have a really exciting race for you today.
Yeah. Show off your emotes. Let's see what's out there.
What we got?
And thanks for all the good luck to the racers and stuff.
Yep. So as baseball was saying, we have the two. Well, at least on my side, we have the two on the left versus the two, and then the two on the right are versus each other as well.
Right, pretty much a column situation. The person above is playing against the person below. But these kind of are, this is like a time trial. Again, we're not really in the brackets yet, so we're just kind of keeping track of the best times. Is that right?
Yes. Yes. Exactly. So we actually have two different groups here. We're in group phases. So we have groups of 4, and then we have one group of 5. And so here we have Light versus Concision, which is actually the Swamp One Up Boon group, and then we have the Eunos versus Sheep, which is in a different group, Punching Bag. So in this phase of the groups, we will face each other in our respective groups, and at the end of that, the top 2 with the best records in their respective group will go into the winners bracket, and the bottom 2 will go into the losers bracket, starting in I think November 12th. I think is what it is the
All
deadline,
right.
I believe.
November 14, but yeah, mid-November. It's gonna be great.
Is it the 14th? Okay, maybe I was correct. I thought the 11th I thought was the last date, but maybe you're probably correct. All right, we are counting down here, ready to go. All right, and off we go.
My stream might be a little behind. Oh no, there it is. 10 seconds left.
I was just looking at the race time timer itself. It actually had counted down, but we are probably still looking at the same thing.
Okay.
So we should be all synced up. We're just now starting right now. Good. Looks like Sheepdog has a little bit of stream delay from the looks of it. The rest of the 3, at least on my screen, have gone. Sheepdog is just a little bit lagging behind. Probably just a stream thing.
Huh. All right. Hopefully it all gets all the wrinkles out by the time it gets going.
Are you seeing the same thing, basically?
Yeah. Got one bag I saw and another.
At least 2. We got Light and Eunos definitely got the 50 bag. I did not see what Concision got.
I'm pretty sure he's jarred. He's leaving with 36 points.
Gotcha. All right.
For those unfamiliar with Zelda 2, we got an experience thing going on. If you look to the top right of the screen during the side scroller, we got experience points racking up, and we want lots to begin with.
Yeah, we sure do. Okay, so looks like Eunos, he's definitely familiar with what we call double bubble, which is what we try to skip both of the fixed encounter screen, bubble screen. However, for some reason, it looks like maybe he either had a slower cave or he hesitated somewhere on the road or on the or in the overworld because he actually didn't quite have that spawn right entering Parappa Cave. But Light looks to be on course to do double bubble. Looks like they're on a pattern that they will know. Yep. Like as you can see, Light staged up there on the south tile of the forest, and so they should know which spawn this is to get the double bubble. Looks like Light just didn't press up in time.
Okay. So you got a single bubble. The other guys are going to be catching up after they get their Goria and their heart container. And then we're all heading to Palace 1 pretty soon. Still nothing from Sheepdog. You got anything over there?
I have nothing on Sheepdog.
You know what? I'm looking. He might have his windows changed. He might be playing in his previous attempt window. Because he's definitely going. He's got the concentrated look I've seen before.
Oh, okay. So, like, his previous window is what he's doing live?
Perhaps.
Does he have him switched or something? It's like swapped around?
Yeah, I'm a little confused, but maybe we'll get it working. I don't know if it's something we can even do on our end.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's him. All right, well, this'll put something in the gears.
Maybe we're just maybe we just have to pay attention to that smaller window on Sheep's, I guess, unless he can switch it around or something.
Thank you, Baseball, for switching the audio. Yeah, oh, you saw the little screen, so that's what I was looking at too. I don't know if that's live or if it's his personal best, but there's a little Sheepdog action.
Alright, so it looks like, are we good now with Sheepdog? It looks like I see a live stream from Sheepdog that's valid, so...
Oh, yeah, I see it now. Okay. It's different than the personal best. Okay, so we might be good. Either way, here we are, Palace 1, taking on Horsehead at the end, and the item in Palace 1 is, remind me?
The item in Palace 1 is the candle, and the candle, what you can do with that is you can see in the dark in caves and such. Quite a helpful item.
The wax never burns out, it's just an eternal flame.
Never burns out, it burns forever.
A little different than Zelda 1. Zelda 1, you could almost use it as a weapon. This one, it's strictly light purposes in caves.
Strictly to be able to see the enemies better in the caves.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Coming up on our first Chewy, is that right?
That's correct. Chewy is like our affectionate name that we name I think it's Guma, I think. As in like, not Guma as in the P5 boss, but another different Guma. But we also call it Chewy, and I think there's a couple different names, but most people just call that enemy Chewy.
Yeah. You can almost hear Chewbacca screaming as we kill him.
Exactly. Yeah, it looks like, Aaron, exactly. Different spelling. Guma as in Guma. Not the double O variety of Guma.
Because why not? It's nothing confusing already. Let's just throw in similar names.
Yeah, let's just throw in the same pronunciation of names, but just different spelling. Not that this game is already not confusing enough.
Right. This will be my first commentation on 4 races. There's just so much to point out. I mean, these guys are just running right through.
Yeah, definitely a lot. So what our goal is in P1, the most optimal way to run this all keys category is to leave this palace with attack 4. Which to do that you need 2 out of 3 bag drops, or 2 out of 3 drops that you have to be bags. First of which is in the cave is the chance, and then you'll have also 2 large drops in the palace. And if you get the 50 bag in the cave, you need just one of those 2 to be 200s. And if that's the case,
you will. We got a death from concision on the top left from the Chewy we were talking about. Those drops come after you kill so many enemies, so that's why it's landing in the locations they land. You kill large enemies, you get drops. I see a jar on the top right with Sheepdog. Wonder why that jar's there, though. That's a little...
It's a little different spot for a drop, that's for sure. I don't know if he had killed...
Something had to have died.
Ooh, okay, so Lite, we were just watching both Lite and Eunos. They're pretty much synced up, even though they're not actually facing each other. They're close to synced up. They both got the red jar out of the drop there. So, in order to leave with attack 4, they will both... They need to get the 200 bag out of the last IK in this palace.
So if you got any emotes for luck and RNG and fingers crossed, they could use it now. Everybody's looking for those experience bags.
Ooh, Concision also gets the red jar. So far we are. I didn't actually see what Sheepdog did. I don't know if
Well, he had that red jar in the candle room, so...
Oh, that's right. Yeah, his drop is all screwed up. So everybody had red jars, at least one red.
Yeah. Looks like Lite might be an attack 3 leaving.
Also, yeah, same with Eunos. They both got double jarred. From just looking at their XP, both Lite and Eunos got double jarred.
Yeah, it all happens so quick. The jars are like picked up as fast as they spawn in. But yeah, if you notice on the top right, you'll see their experience going up. You'll see the top left, their attack levels. They're hoping to have that sword 4, but right now everybody's got sword 2. And some of the guys are moving up to sword 3 right now.
Yeah, so actually all 4 runners are leaving Palace 1 with attack 3. So at least they're even, you know.
There you go, even keel. Got some ladies, got a fairy from for Lite on the bottom. Ooh. Fairy encounter.
Yeah, I saw that. Lite also taking a bop there from that louder, which is not really, you know, that could actually kind of mess with this walk. Hopefully Lite will still be okay. Alright, we're good.
So this overworld screen, when you see the top-down perspective, kind of reminiscent of Zelda 1, it's kind of where a lot of this game is. You can rack up a lot of time if you're not walking correctly, or even luckily.
Oh yeah. I'm not nearly as familiar with the Zelda 1 run. Like, I've seen it several times. I have played it, but not very much at all. But I'm not quite as familiar with that as most people are.
Oh, I just meant perspective-wise, you're looking kind of from top down.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, the overworld versus like what all of Zelda 1 is. Yeah, I gotcha.
So, you know, in Zelda 2 you got the side scroller, and that's where your combat really shines. Like all your platforming and your sword techniques, but yeah, if you don't know how to maneuver in the overworld, it can really rack up all the time to kind of put you back.
Gotcha.
And these guys, I mean, definitely on the bottom and Sheepdog too, I know they've put in some time to memorize different ways that things move and how to get around without taking encounters, as we call them.
Yep, absolutely. There are many, like, nothing is guaranteed in Z2. As like, it's basically our motto that we have in the Zelda 2 speedrunning. There's nothing that will guarantee you success. But there are certain ways that you can put yourself in the best position to have a good chance of, you know, skipping an encounter, etc., etc.
Set yourself up for success.
Exactly.
And then if the
still
gods
doesn't even guarantee you to be successful, but there's ways to improve your chances of success, especially in the overworld.
Well, it's very nice. Everybody's in town. That's pretty cool. Some are leaving, some are just getting their spell, but in each town you're going to get your spell, and the spell they got in Ruto is a jump spell. So everybody's going to be jumping pretty high pretty soon. As they climb Death Mountain.
As you see, both Lite and Eunos and Sheepdog is about to enter what we call Jump Cave, which is like a 3-part cave. And we call it Jump Cave because you will need to use the jump spell on the 3rd part of this cave, as you'll see Lite and Eunos both do very shortly.
It's essentially the first roadblock that you need to, in the linear sense of a game, get to the next area, can proceed on the game.
Okay, so we had an interesting level up there. Lite has taken Magic 2, which I don't know if they intended to do that or not. Normally when we have attack 3 leaving out of P4, you're kind of in a situation where you are behind on XP, and you generally would want to cancel Magic 2. I don't know if they did that on purpose or if that was an accident, but either way, we'll see how that plays out.
Yep. That's a big thing that also hurts in this game, is if you're not paying exact attention to how your experience levels up, you could accidentally level up the wrong thing at the wrong time, and that can really hurt a run.
Yeah, absolutely. Some worse than others, especially. You know, the good old attack 9, of course, is really, really devastating.
There you go, attack 9.
Nobody wants.
You never get more powerful of a sword. It stays at an 8, but you do get an extra man out of it.
you do extra life, that's for sure. So I guess if you are in dire need of an extra life, Attack 9 would be that'd be about the only time that would be something you'd want to do.
I've heard of people going for it. We got a fish bridge. That's for some reason a thing this year.
Look, a fish bridge.
Oh, look, a fish bridge.
There's Kara. Hi, Kara. Thanks for the lucky carrots, by the way.
Oh yeah, those are cool.
Kara's got.
I mean, these runners are they're all holding pretty well. They're all in the same town now.
Yep.
Not a lot of encounters before Bagoo, if any.
No, I don't think any of them really had any particularly bad walks. I think each of them had either clean or one encounter it looked to be fairly clean walk. So that's always something you want to see.
Did you have a theory for why the lady left her mirror at her neighbor's house under the table? Because
you know what? Like, that seems kind of suspect to me. Suspect.
It does.
Like, you know.
Think of those guys that put mirrors on their shoes and walk up to girls in skirts or something. You know, that's
exactly.
creepy.
Either that way, you can go that way, or it's like, you know, lady, I keep finding your stuff under the neighbor's table. You care to explain yourself? You know, like, I don't know. You can go either way with that, I guess.
Maybe it's here's a theory. The neighbor's cat loves the mirror, thinks it's his cat toy, and then keeps stealing it and bringing it home. Hey?
Okay, all right, I can buy that. That's a little bit more like innocent, I guess. Like,
I've got to go for something innocent because this game gets dirty quick.
For sure, it can. For sure.
Come see the red lady in her home to fill your life. It's like, okay. Go see the melons lady and she'll talk dirty. It's like, come on.
Right.
All right, you got some Riverman action.
Yep. Both Lite and Eunos, again, are pretty well synced, at least from like what I can see on the restream, which is not unexpected. Both of those runners are quite good and pretty similarly skilled. So I expect to see, even though they're not actually facing each other, Lite and Eunos probably will be pretty close most of this race, is what I expect.
Sure, yeah. And same to be said between the guys on top. Sheep and Concision are both right behind them. Honestly, it's not too bad.
Yep. No, not at all. You see on Concision, having a little bit of trouble in this room. The first room in Death Mountain can be a pain, but he did get an extra 50 bag. So, especially on Attack 3 runs, when you are searching for extra XP. Ooh, another one there for Concision. Nice. Like visibly happy. I see him. You're wanting any XP that you can get because you're basically behind in this XP situation. So all the 50 bags he'll definitely take, and Concision's got a couple of them. Good.
It's always fun to see when the runner is passing up, like they kill something, didn't expect to drop, and the bag falls, and then they turn around. It's like, okay, you can see in their mind they're thinking, do I need that bag? What's going on? And early on, yeah, we all want those bags.
Oh, for sure. Especially how that every one of them are on Attack 3 runs. So each 4 of these runners are searching for XP. I can tell you that. There's no doubt about it.
Lite handles a Daira like a pro, just juggling them, and you knew to get that bag.
Oh yeah, you'll see both Lite and Eunos chaining these double hits. What we mean by chaining doubles is that you do a double after a double, and basically just tying them together. Both those two runners and Sheepdog, I think, can probably as well do the same thing, but it takes quite a bit of skill with the inputs, and you'll see some of them pull it off like champs.
Something to be studied. Yeah. So we're coming to the end of some of the Death Mountain. We're going to see the hammer pretty soon.
And remind me again, Joe, what does the hammer do?
So the hammer in this game is only used for the overworld, and it chops down trees and breaks giant boulders, thereby giving you access to the later part of the game.
Right. Somehow the hammer chops down trees. I don't know. Like, explain that to me, but I guess we'll go with it. We'll go with it.
If you hit the tree hard enough with a hammer, it will happen.
I suppose.
I don't know. That's why it's the magic hammer. That's why no other hammer would do. That's why you must climb through Death Mountain to get this one. There it is. You can do. There you go. You can do anything with enough determination.
That's true. Ooh, Concision there with another unfortunate death.
Right.
Is that Concision's second death? Is that correct?
I believe so. It looks like this would be the last life until they start getting extra lives.
Yeah, so they might want to go for Concision might want to go for the one up after the or up by the graveyard. Probably what he would be wanting to do, I would assume.
So in the overworld, there's a couple of scattered extra lives just hanging out, and you could skip them, and it would save you a little bit of time in most cases. But in some cases, it actually was more beneficial just to get it and then waste that life in later places where we call death abuse. But yeah, I'm pretty sure at least what I would do is I've been grabbing all those extra lives because you can only get them once in your playthrough, and in this speedrun, they can be used to your advantage.
Sure.
Alright, looks like Concision's the last one to go get the hammer. Sheepdog just picked his up.
Yep.
Always interesting the tidbit about when you leave the hammer area in the overworld. It looks to be like Zelda 1, the kind of overworld map.
Yes, in fact, there's even, if I remember correctly, there is actually a speedrun, which is on like the extensions, I think.
Okay.
It's called, like, I think it's Dazigi, D-A-Z-I-G, something like that, but it's like Death Abuse Zelda 1 Graveyard, I think is actually the category that we call it, and which is that particular graveyard that's out of a hammer cave. I can't remember the exact rules, but I think you have to, the speedrun, it says you have to game over or die or something in that graveyard that's reminiscent of Zelda 1, and that's why they call it Dazigi.
Okay. I see where the acronym is coming from.
Yep.
The Ziggy. Alright, we've got most of the guys on the bottom just skipped that life we were talking about, but this is the big graveyard just south of Mido Town. You'll see them kind of go backwards through the boulder to get back to the marsh swamp area. And go for the, what is it called, the potion of life for the child in Mido?
Medicine, or the water of life is actually, I think, is what it's called, but we just basically affectionately call it the medicine.
The medicine.
You saw, if you're watching both Lite and Eunos, they tried, both of them set up what we call the walk called Boulder Dash, and they were able to actually showcase two different ways to do it. Lite did what we call, I guess, the traditional way, where you intentionally take the encounter that's one tile west of the boulder, set up the double spawn. Eunos didn't quite get that favorable of a spawn, so then Eunos actually took it on the Cats tile. There was a runner called Cats on Your Head, I think is the name of the runner, came up with if you intentionally take an encounter on basically the center of the road where Eunos did, you'll set up the same spawn. And it looks like, watch Sheepdog on the top right, he'll do the same thing. Oh, maybe not. Okay, maybe not. I thought Sheepdog was going to go for it. Oh, Sheepdog on the top right, actually, if you saw him take that back step, that's yet a different way. If you don't take the traditional boulder encounter nor cat style, you can back up a couple of steps just like Sheepdog did, and basically have the same result. What I'm saying is basically saying there's numerous ways to set up that walk to the medicine cave to get you in there safely. And so far, we've actually seen all four runners do something a little bit different in order to get there safely. Concision there just did a bunch of different extra steps, but then eventually did cat style. So
that's cat style.
Yeah, that's cat style. The tile that you just saw Concision take that encounter on, that's cat style.
Very nice. I missed that speedrunner streamer Cats on Your Head. They were fun.
Yep, for sure.
But yeah, all that jargon and stuff for the setups is just that overworld walk. If you're walking in the overworld and you're taking encounters, again, you're just adding on a bunch of unnecessary time. So through the years, different runners have found different ways to manipulate how these encounters are going to approach you and how to get around them the best.
Absolutely. Every overworld encounter is 6 or 7 seconds, depending on where it is, I guess. So.
Sure.
Just huge. It obviously adds up. So all throughout this long run, overworld is quite a big factor of how fast you're going to finish this run. So if you can put yourself in the best position to avoid those encounters, of course, we're gonna go for it.
Yep. And it compounds too. If you take a first encounter in a long run where there might be multiple, it can mess up the whole the steps afterwards. You'll have to come up with a whole nother plan, and there's some side strats, but
Sure.
some guys like me are still figuring all that out. All right, well, Concision picked up the two 1-ups in the overworld, one in the swamp and one near the graveyard. Also taking a little ferry for the walk back to Mido.
Oh, okay.
Or Mido. And Sheepdog's picking up his downward stab, the overpowered sword attack. And they're all making their way to Palace 2 after that.
Overpowered. Yep. You need the wise words of a knight to tell you to press down so that you can actually down thrust these enemies.
Where's the knight? Oh, he's chilling in the basement of a church. Oh, I'll just walk in. Well, you can't really walk in. You have to jump on the roof first. Okay.
Right.
Tell me more.
Kind of like pseudo breaking and entering, but yeah, it's all right.
So you break the entering in this church, and you get to the basement, and there's a guy just hanging out, and he's like, "Oh, thanks for coming. You should press down, and you're also going to be able to."
I'm gonna show you some sweet combat here. Now that you've broken some breaking and entering in this church, your reward is you get to have this sweet overpowered sword ability for it.
I'm seeing a lot of unnecessary encounters from Eunos and Lite for the swamp walk. You hate to see it because swamps are tough.
Oof. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I didn't really see what actually happened there with Lite on why they were not quite set up.
Right.
Oof, both of them taking it as well right there. BS, Eunos.
Yeah, we're all shaking our head.
Agree.
Eunice has the BS key on, ready to go.
It's like a hotkey, basically, maybe.
Right.
It's to hit one button and this BS shows up.
All right, we got some guys already in Palace 2, and this one's like a teal template, an aqua color.
I got quite a bit of difference between Lite and Eunos's colors.
Right,
like,
the shades.
Quite a bit of difference, actually.
It's actually in this room where they're ascending the stairs with bots that I've seen Sheepdog get slapped by a diaper for not tending to the child during a Zelda run or something.
By a diaper. You'll have to elaborate on that. I don't quite follow the reference.
It was during a stream that his wife came on and said, the child needs a diaper change or something, and he says, "I'm busy." He's got like a PB run going or something. And so on the camera, she actually hit him in the head with the diaper.
That's hilarious. That's awesome.
So I call this affectionately the diaper slap room.
Oh, that's great.
Good for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cerulean. There's a lot of fun words for this shade of blue. And Sheepdog even has his own shade. It's like a little lighter.
It is. Sheepdog is definitely rocking everything. It seems to be a little bit brighter, lighter, more vibrant for Sheepdog. Whatever color palette that he's got going on.
More chewies tossing drumsticks or whatever they are.
Right. All right, we'll see how Concision's walk is going. Actually didn't see the beginning of that walk, but it looks like it should be clean. All right, yeah, he's clean into P2. All four runners in the same palace. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of 5-5s here.
Yeah, they all have the almost the exact same stats, 4-1-2, except Lite has 2 magic.
Lite. Yeah, that's going to be interesting on Lite's. Because Lite did take Magic 2, that means they're going to need a little bit more XP than the rest of them just because they took Magic 2 rather. And I'm pretty sure that was accidental. Again, I don't think there's any way that was on purpose to take Magic 2 there. Ooh,
hey, new strats get born every day. Oh yeah, jar, that's no fun.
No, it's
early
not.
Game jars.
Bag for Eunos.
Aaron says he needs to know the detail on if the diaper was pre or post change.
Oof.
I can't divulge any more info. That would be a Sheepdog interview question.
Yeah. We'll save that for runner interviews. It's going to be a burning question on whether this was a used or Oh man, I can't even say the words.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Hey, Sheepdog made it through the bots plus lava. What a combination in Zelda 2. The bots are like some of the easiest enemies in that they're small, they die quickly or whatever, they don't throw anything at you. But they're also some of the hardest because they almost randomly will twitch and then jump. And if you can't keep on top of them with your down stab, then you could end up in the lava quite easily. The knockback is serious.
You definitely can and will end up in the lava at some point in time. If you play this game on the regular, you are quite familiar with the bot lava combination and also familiar with being knocked into the lava. There's no doubt about that. Unavoidable.
Yep. Dying in lava and well, I guess dying in general, you get that twitchy screen that kind of flashes lights at you.
Speaking of dying, concision. Speaking of bot and lava, maybe that's commentary curse, but he got knocked in there by an unfavorable bot.
Right, he was looking good until that last bot, and then he didn't have fairy queued in time, or maybe he didn't have the magic for it.
Didn't have the magic for it. He paused, and he's like, oh nope, don't have the magic.
Nothing doing.
Yeah,
Luckily enough, there were the 2 extra lives before he got here, so.
Well, even so, though, he has 2 lives left, so he's probably not going to be able to do any, 1 or none or no death abuse is probably coming in P4, so we'll see how that plays into affect the extra deaths that the concision's taken.
Right, some of the first areas that you learn to save time with the death abuse is Palace 4, because there's like kind of a long corridor of lava and different enemies, and at the end of it is the key that you need. But to walk back would actually be, like 3 or 4 seconds more, maybe even more than that, than if you just jump in the lava and respawn at the beginning of it.
Yep, it's something like 3 or 4 seconds, exactly like you say. But it's more, honestly, it is good for the time save, but it is more for a magic refill, especially that last one where you almost have to always either A, have to get a jar from the statue, or take the death so that you can have enough magic to cast Reflect on Karok.
Concision's kind of low on life with hurting for life already and low again. It's rough stuff coming up. The item in this palace is the glove. It helps you break the boulders that fall from the sky and block your path. And this is different than the overworld boulders to be nice and confusing.
Right, exactly. XP wise, actually, they're all good. Lite, I didn't quite see, but Lite either had a 200 bag or something, but was fortunately enough to have enough XP to get to the 200 required at the 522 minimum. That definitely went Lite's way for sure, because there was a chance that they could have definitely not had enough XP with especially taking the magic too early, but it worked out for them.
Sure. Again, if the game keeps giving you jars instead of experience in the beginning, it can really wreck it too. All right, we got 2 guys out of Palace 2, making their way out of the swamp, heading towards the first town they skipped in the beginning. They all do late shield, am I right?
I believe every one of these runners will do late shield. I know for 100% sure that all 3 out of the 4. Now, concision, I'm 80%
I only
sure
assume concision did because they kept up with them. So if you took shield early, it would.
I'm
really
fairly sure concision does late shield as well. So.
And that's where you end up at Rauru, the first town that's pretty much right next to where you spawn, at least on the road. And then you get the spell of, well, it's called shield, but you basically change your shirt from green to red.
Exactly.
But you can only wear a red shirt for one screen, one room.
Yep, if you want it, you got to keep casting in every room. So early shield town versus late shield town, there's a few different reasons you can do one or the other. The biggest one is if you're doing what we call the double bubble skip. So it's like if if you set up perfectly to try to do the fixed encounter skip twice near the heart before entering P1, it's easier. It's obviously if you skip Shield Town first so that you can be on the same frame pattern as what you would be every time. So that's why most of us actually skip Shield Town and save it for later. But there's also other reasons to skip it and save it for later is because the walk. So if you save Shield Town for later in the game, the walk from Shield Town to King's Tomb, I'm not gonna say is free, but it's I would say probably 90% successful unless you really screw something up. It's quite an easy walk to get from Shield Town to King's Tomb. Whereas if you went Shield Town early, you would have to walk all the way from P2 exit to King's Tomb, which is like the OG original way to do it. It's definitely more difficult. Not saying it's impossible or improbable, but it's definitely harder than the late Shield to King's Tomb.
All right, Concision finally got out of Palace 2 as the guys on bottom are heading into Palace 3. Palace 3 has one of the 3 Rebanak riders. That's Iron Knuckle riding on a horse, and it's a boss in this level.
Yep, sure is the main boss in this level, which is actually it's much harder. The Rebanak hits, well, it takes several more hits in this palace versus the P6, just because we have a lower attack level here. Attack 6 versus attack 8 Rebanak is quite a bit different.
Oh yeah. You have to dismount that rider first, and then when he gets down, he starts throwing daggers at you. It could be nasty. There's a cheese strat, which I definitely use, where you just go to the corner and hop on the head.
Right. You gotta you set up at a certain a crack in the floor, I think, and to downstab when he passes for the first time, and it sets up your corner cheese, as you were saying.
There it is. I don't think we'll see that from these guys. These guys will probably take him head on.
I'm 100% sure Lite, Eunos, and 90% sure Sheepdog will not do the corner strat. Concision, I'm not sure.
They can end up eating up a lot of time if the rider blocks. They can end up blocking a lot of the pouncing on the head.
For sure.
The item in
Eunos will go right at Rebanak. They'll do the aggressive strat. They will try to dismount Rebanak as fast as possible and just do the rising crouch, falling stabs, as quick as possible. I know for sure they will. Sheepdog likely will as well. I'm not quite sure if Concision will. Let's see.
Concision visiting King's Tomb and then quickly leaving. Only to get to the secret tile, fall down, wee! The cheese ball, wee, and the secret path to level 3.
Wee.
And level 3 item is it's a raft. I don't know what makes this raft more special than any other. Much like the hammer, it's the only one that can progress you through. Oh, and a death abuse. I've never seen that strat.
Yep, I've seen Lite do that particular strat before. I don't think Lite does it every time. But I think it's more like if you've taken several bops and your life is kind of low already, you kind of have an opportunity to take a death abuse there.
Sure.
So it's like maybe just kind of depends on your life. I don't think it's intentional, but like I said, if you're already low, yeah, I mean, you can set it up fairly easily.
I love that confidence in the runners who have that confidence, who have those abilities that they can. I'll take a death abuse, and I'm not going to need it for the Valley of Death coming up or the Golden Palace of just enemy birds that can wreck you in a second.
Right.
No problem. I'll just keep going.
I don't need these lives. I'm a professional,
Aaron brings to a point that the Rebanak is not the best boss to go in if you're light on HP. Speaking of which, how are the level ups? Looks like everybody's got their life 3 and got their magic 3, except Concision, just a little behind.
Yeah.
But he'll get it, because Palace 3 is pretty easy to catch up.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if he's got a drop set up somewhere, which I'm sure he does. Yeah, the goal... Ooh, yeah, he still actually is at 622. So, yeah, he's a little bit behind on XP, but as long as he doesn't have horrendous drops, he should be fine. He might just... Worst case, Concision might just have to kill extra Doom Knocker or 2, or maybe even the last Blue IK if needed. But They shouldn't have to.
Yeah, it should be okay. Palace 3 is kind of one of the easier ones to get through, I think.
As you see, Lite and Eunos both. I see them just going right after Rebanak, just trying to dismount them as soon as possible. Eunos actually was quite successful with the aggressive Rebanak. Lite a little bit behind, but a little trouble there, but still took care of old Rebo pretty easily.
Yeah, Eunos had a really great Rebo kill there, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
And the gem is placed. Palace 3 is finished.
Nice. Yeah, Concision should be totally fine on XP as well. He was the only one that was sort of questionable, but he's already got his 633. And the goal here is at level 633, as you see Concision right now, you want to actually enter the Rebo fight at a minimum of 399, which he should have absolutely no problem with.
Ooh, bots and lava. Here we are again.
Yeah. What a combination. It's like peanut butter and jelly, right? Bots and lava?
Yeah. Alright, they're leaving West Hyrule behind as the guys on the bottom half of the screen head east with the raft.
Sheepdog also did a aggressive Rebanak, did not go for the corner cheese, tried to, do the quick dismount. Was fairly successful with it. Good fight there, Sheepdog.
The enemies get a little harder in the east. You got a Tektite, which can't be killed with the normal sword. He jumps around, an armored beast. Also spits little balls of energy, and crawling on the ground is what they call a Zora, right? It's
I believe that's correct, yes.
Kind of looks like Zora from the other guys, but he's not water-based. He just kind of crawls like a bear or something.
We affectionately call the Tektites jumping trash cans, basically. They're just like steel things that just jump around that resemble trash cans. And like, especially if they hit you, you're more prone to call them trash, basically. They can be very annoying.
The way you can kill them, beside that I know of, maybe the way you're supposed to, is the first town you reach is Naburu, but a lot of these guys probably all of them are going to do a late fire spell. The fire spell in Naburu makes your sword shoot flames, and also makes it powerful enough to pierce their armor. It's not really something that matters too much in this game, to be honest. You can use it. There's like rooms that you can use it in, certainly, to keep that fire going across the screen. I've seen it. But especially that one trash Tektite cave area. Oh, we got some Dazzle Walks coming up. I'll watch those happen.
Yep, actually both Lite and Eunos were successful in what we call the Dazzle Walk, which is created by another runner called ZZ Dazzle ZZ a long time ago. Which basically turned that very difficult walk going back from that 1-up to the town of Darunia into pretty trivial and very successful walk that you saw both Lite and Eunos do.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll notice once they get up there, so they're in the town of Darunia. Sheepdog is going through the maze to the east of it, and he has to get the child held by like a lizard warrior and bring it back to the lady in Darunia. Oh, my baby.
There's also many different theories floating around as how does this child constantly end up in the possession of this Lizalfos? We have all kinds of conspiracy theories on how that ends up happening.
Yeah.
From blaming the parents to like it's the kid's fault, do they keep running away, or is it? Or I've even heard like maybe the parents are like in cahoots with the Lizalfos and some kind of ransom thing going on. But yeah, there's all kinds of weird stuff floating around with that.
What I'm hearing is when people play this game long enough, the mind starts to wander and wonder.
Yes, exactly. You start making up stories with these NPCs and with the town folks of like, their lives, their personal affairs, and like what's going on with them.
How come Riverman insists on a note from Bagu?
Exactly.
Like Sheep got a really good Dazzle Walk there too.
Yep, exactly. If there's some romance going on between the Riverman and Bagu, of course, there's something suspect there. There's no doubt.
All right, I like Aaron. Aaron just put in chat a very interesting theory I've never heard. I'm gonna have to let my mind stew on that one for a minute. I don't know if I can. Even, yeah, it's a pretty wild one. Love concision turning into a fairy to pick up the child. That's a pretty smooth way to do it. And we've got Lite and Eunos, I think, heading back on the Elzad walk. Elzad being, what would that be? A palindrome of dazzle?
Yes, I believe so. Exactly the backwards spelling of the word dazzle, which is basically because they're going backwards of the original dazzle walk. Both of them set up on the exact same tile. And they're really synced. Perfect. Lite went down one extra row than what Eunos did, which is... Oh, both worked out really good for both.
Wow. Now that's a tough walk for me. I've been practicing that one for a while.
Right. The one Eunos did there was pretty much exactly what I do and what you other runners do. Lite, it worked out for them, and I think maybe like they went down one extra row from what I had thought would be the traditional, but they have something set up perfect, and it's you can see it worked out very well. So maybe that was all in the script.
It's in the script. Follow the script. Learning in Darunia, the spell would be Reflect to strengthen a shield. So that's kind of what Aaron was talking about. You got to learn this Reflect spell before you get back to the boss of Palace 4. The Purple Palace has an evil wizard deep within called Karok.
Yep,
only killable by his own power. You have to reflect that power back at him with your strengthened shield. There you go.
I didn't see if either Lite or Eunos did any of the fun talks to the townspeople that we do to intentionally delay before leaving Darunia to set up the home-in encounters.
Right.
Sheepdog just did the old traditional MOU, M-O-U strat, where he talked to the sign to do the intentional delay. We'll see what concision does. That's for sure. It's fun to talk to certain townsfolk to set that up.
Twinmo23 bringing up RNG in Zelda 2, which I think I always have to be cautious when I talk about the RNG in Zelda 2 because, like you said, the game can decide when it's not your time, but it's also manipulatable. You can manipulate a lot of this.
Yep, for sure. So Karok in specific, talking about the RNG with Karok. So if you were to just go directly into the Karok fight, there are, I believe, 64 different patterns that you would face going into the Karok fight, depending on which RNG seed that you're on.
Now we're talking.
However, sorry?
I was just saying, yeah, now you're talking. This is what I've heard, yeah.
Yeah, so 64 is the original. So, but we've found there are certain runners that have done studies on it and have found that if you exit the screen after entering it, meaning the Karok screen, do a certain standing stab at a certain spot, you can truncate the amount of patterns that Karok will give you down to 8. So then what you do is you can just memorize those 8 different patterns. I'm not going to say easily, but you can memorize them, in which you can do those same 8 patterns, based upon the second spawn of Karok. Because Karok will definitely spawn at the same spot every time first. You know that one where you can just block the first projectile and put it right back into Karok. It'll always spawn right there the first time. The second time will determine which one of the 8, if you're doing the manipulation. Then you'll recognize which pattern that is, 1 through 8, and then you can actually position yourself to basically have a TAS fight. And it's really cool if you've ever seen runners do it. There's certain ones that do. Oracle does. I think JC, which is the second place runner, will also do that. Crocus does, and I think maybe even Epi has done the Karok manipulations. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, we love this game, so we don't mind when people want to hear about all this all this intricate stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff in this game, so we could talk about it for days.
Yeah, there's a lot more than meets the eye for sure that's going on. Now, if you didn't know, if you weren't already really familiar with this game, you would never really know all the stuff that's going on behind the scenes per se of what these runners are doing.
Right. Yeah, the first time you play this, you just enter rooms, you just walk willy-nilly. If you don't know all the ways to manipulate the game, then you're almost having a completely different experience.
Oh yeah, for sure. Even if you're just watching an advanced runner, but you yourself aren't really familiar with a run, you would never really know that all these stabs that these people are doing when they're stabbing walls, going down elevators, in certain fashions, that they're not necessarily doing it just for fun. It might be setting up, enemies in the next room or whatever. So it's very methodical on things that we're doing that you would never know unless you're quite familiar with the run.
Yeah, there you go. Intricacies, you gotta love them. I haven't been paying attention to death abuses. We've got everybody in Palace 4 now, and lots of lava below.
Yeah, I think the only one that we were kind of worried about was concision, right? With taking the extra couple of deaths beforehand. We'll see. Yeah, so you can see concision electing to not take that death abuse, likely just to save. You definitely, in a race setting for sure, you don't want to leave this palace with less than 2 or 3 lives. Would be pretty much the preferred. That's a big red jar for concision, yeah, so that's obviously helpful in deciding whether you want to take a death abuse or not, whether you get the jar or a IK from the statue.
Oh yeah, that'll help you decide, am I cornered in a lava room with the iron knuckle, or did I get a jar?
Right.
Luckily, those tend to be jars pretty often. It hasn't been too terrible.
Yeah, fairly often.
I think Concision just picked up the item for Palace 4, which everybody else probably already has. It looks like 1 boot, but I bet it's 2. I bet it's a pair.
You think it's a pair of boots? Is it like behind it or something? You can't just see the other one?
I think one's smaller than the other. It's kind of a sock, and it's like stuffed in. I don't know. I mean, so other boots we've seen in this series, right, would be Ocarina of Time's like lead boots, maybe.
Gotcha.
So, but that doesn't make sense because these boots are supposed to kind of help you walk on water, but not all water, just the water they want you to walk on.
Just certain tiles. Maybe it's got to be a certain depth or less. Maybe they're leading you to believe that the water tiles that you cannot walk on are too deep, or even if you got those fancy boots on, still too deep for you to walk on.
I've got to hear some more theories about these boots because the physics on that, the physics in Hyrule, they're wild. Hey, we've got a Karok fight. We've got 2 of them on the bottom right now. You see that red wizard popping up. Looks like both of our guys are going with corner strats, which kind of makes it simple on our part. Just kind of hang out and let Karok do all the work.
Yep, exactly. And the problem is, kind of like how Lite's facing, you can, depending on how the RNG, you can face a really awful Karok, and that seemed like to be a below average Karok there for Lite, spending quite a bit of extra time in there.
Twinmo says you get the other boot in Link to the Past.
Okay.
Are we losing feed? My video keeps dropping.
I seem to keep seeing synchronizing. I'm not quite sure whose end that's on as well. I don't think it's on ours.
Right.
Okay. Baseball's working on it.
We appreciate that. Kudos to the mods and to Baseball and restreaming. Appreciate it. Tech issues can suck it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, looks like someone's already in Palace 5. Got those green walls. And I assume they've got Eco Key set up. Eco Key's always fun to talk about. Saves a lot of time. Looks real fancy.
You saw Eunos was successful with it. We'll see. I'm pretty sure all of these runners will go for it. No, for sure Sheepdog as well, and Lite will as well. I'm pretty sure Concision will also. Oof, Lite. You saw Lite miss Eco Key there, so that will cost them probably a 12 plus seconds, depending on if they have the drop set up here. I don't know if they do or not.
Not so economical.
Nope, not quite.
To have to walk back to get a key. All right, got Sheepdog taking on Karok pretty quick, actually.
Nice. Yeah, that was a good fight. So, if you watch Lite right now, if they have a drop set up on one of these IKs, this could mitigate the damage or the time loss. We'll see if they normally will set it up on this IK right here. Okay, so he got a bag, which is helpful, but not as helpful as a jar would have been.
Right.
So now they still need at least to kill at least one Mago here. Perfect. Get him the magic refill in order to have enough for jump cast in the next room. That was actually not nearly as bad as what that can be. Sometimes you can just sit there searching for Magos for like what seems like minutes.
For sure, yeah. So setting up that whole drop ratio of having killed so many enemies so you get that bag in the first place, whether it be a jar or bag, and then like relying on how the Magos show up, relying on how these blocks drop. These rooms are they can really. I've seen a lot of runners.
Oh, for sure. Can definitely be brutal.
Sleep or whatever.
Oh yeah, I've lost runs to this palace for sure. Like if you're on a like close to PB pace and you miss eco key, you can like once you get to a certain point in your PB, like you can kiss the PB goodbye. Like you're basically done.
Yeah. Hey, you know, such is the life. The life of a speedrunner. Looks like Sheepdog
missed it. Yeah, Sheepdog missed eco key. So.
Vaughn has felt the pain. He's got the not like this.
Yes. Vaughn for sure knows. Vaughn knows. All Vaughn's fault. Blame Vaughn.
Blame Vaughn. Alright, Concision's taking on that wizard. Making their way up with the other guys. Karok art is pretty cool. In Palace 5, you get people give it a bunch of different names. It's supposed to be some type of flute/recorder. That's the item.
I've heard it, yeah, the oboe, the plunger, I've heard all kinds of different names for that.
Oboe was the first time today. First time I heard oboe was today.
Was it?
The commentator said oboe. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. I kind of laughed a little. Plunger, oboe.
The Sheepdog I was watching, he did actually get the red jar from the drop that he had set up, so.
Very nice.
When we set up, when we call eco drop, so like runners, when you try for eco key, it's generally a good idea, especially in a race setting, try to set up your drop on one of those two red IKs after the eco key attempt. It is helpful, especially if you miss it, because it can mitigate the damage of the time loss. No matter what the drop is, whether it's a 200 bag or a jar, you prefer a jar because it'll refill your magic. But even if it's a 200 bag, it's helpful, so. Race for sure is very preferred to try to set up that drop. We'll see how Concision does here. Ooh, okay, so Concision goes directly for the fairy, which is fine, yep. Not a problem at all. So, yeah, nailed it, as Vaughn says. He'll go back. Ooh, wait. Did he get the key?
He didn't go back for the key, I don't think.
Not quite sure what's going on here then with Concision.
Yeah, he's just now realizing he's got to go back for that key.
Okay,
that's a tough
alright.
That's tough.
Interesting. Yeah.
Might have been a little distracted, a lot going on, but can't skip a key. In this category, you need to get them all.
Yep. That's why we call it 100%. I wasn't sure. I didn't really want to shout, "Go back for the key," because I don't know, like you know, like race rules. It's like I don't know if like this whole chat assisted thing. I kind of wanted to like. Okay, maybe he'll just figure it out on his own. I didn't really want to say much in case he's listening. You know, I don't know what the rules are on that, but
I think all of us in our head were shouting at the screen, "Go back for the key!"
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to. I was kind of saying it out loud, but was like restrained because I didn't really want to, you know, be the commentator assist of some kind. I guess. But we'll say he figured that out on his own. He wasn't even listening to us.
So we mentioned Gooma and Gooma. We're coming up on the second, the Gooma that isn't the Gooma, the Gooma Gooma.
The Gooma, the double O Gooma version.
You know, I don't even know which one gets the U and the double. If this one's double O, that's great. I'm gonna start calling him King Gooma though, because why not?
This one is the double O. The U,
Okay.
G-U-M-A, is the smaller Chewy.
Chewy, okay.
Chewy, yeah.
I'm trying to think of how I'm going to remember that, but most likely won't. I'll just have to look it up later.
Right.
But this one, he's got his ball and chain. He tosses it. You kind of got to everybody's like, get in tight. He's got a hitbox right there in the middle. If you could just sneak by his attacks.
Yep. As with a lot of the bosses in this game, there are different methods in which you can kill them. You can go really aggressive, or you can go conservative. And the aggressive way is that you go directly for his hitbox. You can kind of get deep inside him, as we say, and just kind of basically jackhammer, downstab him in the middle of his torso area.
Eunos
if you do that correctly, yeah, Eunos did it. If you do that correctly, you can just really make quick work of Guma. We'll see how Lite fares here. They'll likely try the same thing. Yep. Okay. A little bit more conservative. Getting on the right side of Guma is totally fine there. It's also pretty fast, as you saw Lite do. Good fight. Eunos was visibly upset there with something after that screen. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I saw it too. I think he was maybe hoping his experience wasn't going to soft lock him. Maybe he was praying to the soft
That
lock
must
guy.
have been close.
Eunos
That
caught
was
it. Yeah.
close. Okay, that was really close. I had just happened to glance over at Eunos's, and he was visibly kind of shaken on something, and that was really close to a soft lock.
Sure. Same with Lite. 8-9-21 is what I saw for Lite.
Wow.
So what we're talking about there again is the experience. Once you place the gem, it just gives you all the experience. It has to count it up, but it goes all the way to the next point, which was 9,000 after leaving Palace 5. As it's racking up, you have that time to get through the screen, get your heart container, go to the next place. But if you happen to leave the screen just as your experience reached the point, it can soft lock you and completely ruin the game, honestly. I don't think there's
100%.
back.
You're done. If you soft lock, that's it. It's over.
You're as good as having pressed reset with no saves.
Yep, absolutely. Now, I think we were just talking about this the other day. Maybe it was yesterday or something. And what happens if somebody soft locks and it is the tournament? So it's basically up to the opponent at that point in time. Let's just say someone does soft lock and their opponent at that point in time, they have that's all in their court. They can choose to just continue and finish out the race and then be the victor, basically, as long as they just finish the race out. Or if they decide to, they can offer the opponent who soft locked if they would like to restart. I mean, you certainly don't have to do that. It's well within your rights to just finish the race, and I wouldn't blame anybody, but a lot of the times if somebody does soft lock, the opponent will offer them to restart, which is fine as well. But
soft locks can happen in a lot of places. Sheepdog's in like one of the main areas that I've seen soft locks happen. But there's other areas that you can soft lock. It's a little less hard to control.
Yeah, there's numerous spots, especially with Attack 3 runs. There's a couple of extra spots, especially in Death Mountain, where you're going to be, near the end of the screen where that red Dyra is before you get the hammer, where you'll have you're extra susceptible to doing a soft lock, so you have to be a little bit more careful.
So as you were saying, if the opponent wants to reset, I mean, I understand how that's a Valorant thing, an honorable thing, but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of that's a lot of time. I feel like I would wish my opponent to just continue. It's like, hey, especially if it was the Ocean Heart soft lock, that's on me. If it soft locks on me, that I basically forfeited. That's my own
100%.
fault.
I think that's like kind of where my stance is. Like, if I'm the one that soft locks, I will never expect my opponent to offer a restart. I'd be like, it's all you. You can do what you need to do. I won't blame you for finishing out and just taking the win. Fantastic. Now, if they offer me a restart, of course, I'm probably not going to reject that. I will say, yeah, sure, let's go ahead and restart. But if it's my opponent who does the soft lock, I will probably reach out and offer if they would like to reset or restart, unless it's that ocean level up. That's probably where I would have to draw the line, because as we all know, if you're familiar with this game at all, you basically know that entire screen if you're going to be close to a soft lock, and if you do it there, it's basically means you did a willing choice to chance it and you got burned.
It's the risk you took.
Yeah, exactly. You knew it, you risked it, and like it was your fault. So if somebody soft locks on that ocean heart, I probably will not offer to restart. To be totally honest, anywhere else I probably will.
To catch up, we got concision coming in for the fight against GOOMA. We've got Sheepdog finishing up his Sheepdog's finishing the river walk, which is the area just south of Naburu. As the guys on the bottom, Lite and Eunos, are both in the town of New Kasuto, heading towards Palace 6 now. Gamuma.
Gamuma.
He is kind of cow-like with that jaw. I don't know.
Nice there. Perfect. What we call 7-11 is what you saw Lite do there. So if you've watched tournaments in the past, especially all keys tournaments, you're kind of looking for runners to do what we call like a traditional pose there when you cast the spell, to do the erection of that tower at the end there of that New Kasuto. But as you saw both Lite and Eunos do, they didn't do a pose, but rather they cast spell at a very specific point, because what we have found is that you can actually, based upon frame rules, if you cast a spell at that certain point that you saw Lite and Eunos do, the spell tower will erect as soon as you cast it. Whereas if you do it in different spots, you can wait up to, I think it's 20 or 30 frames, something like that. So what I'm basically trying to say is if they're not posing because they're actually trying to save time, they can save like a third of a second actually, depending on if they cast the spell in the correct spot.
Oh man. Eunos got a really tricky walk going on. He's heading towards the, what do they call it? The beach heart? Palace 6 heart?
I didn't quite... Okay, I didn't see. He looks like he took both encounters there after the cave. Eunos says, racing the ocean heart level is worth 3 seconds. That is true. What Eunos is saying, though, is if you were... is what he's talking about is the level ups that you actually select. So if you are able to make it out of that ocean screen and make it into town before you take the level ups, it's actually it's a lot faster. Like Nino says, 3 seconds. So that's why people do
the killer walk here.
Nice.
Very nice walk from Lite. Wow, yeah, that's how you want to get to Palace 6 for sure. Got the slink, he got all the way through.
Very nice.
Oh, I didn't check how Sheepdog was posed for the erection.
I didn't see his erection either. I would assume it was good. Sheepdog knows the efficient way as well.
Okay.
I didn't see it.
I forgot who taught me the lead foot, but I've been going for lead foot. I don't know about a third of a second, and that's just kind of my swag move as I try to...
Oh, I see. So, maybe, well, it's too late to see Sheepdog, but as soon as you enter that screen where you cast a spell to erect the building, if you have links like the back of his, his like hat, I guess. If you have it to where it's just barely touching what we call that building, it's whatever the brick,
Sure, yeah, the edge.
Is. Exactly. If Link's back of his head is right there, still touching the building, it's generally about as fast as you can get. And what I said, 7-11 means like in the testing that we've done. The fastest way that you can do that room is 7 minutes and 11 seconds. So when if you hear a runner say, "Ooh, that was a nice 7-11," that means they did cast the spell at the most optimal spot in that room.
Eunos had a pretty rad Rebanak kill there. That's the second of the 3 Rebanak riders.
Lite will likely do exactly the same setup there. Yep, perfect. Yep.
That's great. I've really got to learn that double attack. That's really cool.
It's a good strategy. If you know how to do double hits, like such as on a Daira in Death Mountain, you can do that kill on Rebanak. It's the same exact inputs.
Nice.
It's all about the timing on when you do the down stab on Rebanak, and then you just do a simple double hit, And that's
I missed Sheepdog's walk, but it looks like his Palace 6 walk looked really good too.
Yeah, for sure. What's
Concision
the
is
slowest, Vaughn says? I don't know. I think it's in that room. I don't know if it's like a sine wave as far as like the frame rule is the fast versus the slow, but I think there's a certain points, exactly several points where you can get the 7-minute 11, and then it's just worse depending on where else you cast the spell. Eunos says 7 seconds, 26 frames is the worst. Definitely trust Eunos because I believe he's one of the ones who was who found that strategy.
Alright, Palace 6. Some guys already have the cross.
Home of Barba, our favorite enemy of this game, of course.
Some say that the giraffe is a direct descendant of Barba.
Ah, okay, I can see that.
No. No, that lava dragon, I don't know what's going on under the lava.
Concision did a
definitely-
traditional pose, I saw that. He did a nice upstab pose there when he was erecting the spell tower there.
Oh yeah. Alright, more Rebanak fights. Sheepdog taking on the second one as Eunos takes on the final.
Eunos didn't quite do enough delay, and you either have to delay just a little bit after landing after doing the downstab on Rebanak, or you have to press jump before you hold left. And it looks like either one, I think, kind of looked like he pressed left like at the same time as he jumped, which means he was basically too close to Rebo to do that double hit. Got to saying, what's upstab? I don't know if that's a legitimate question. If you press up when after obtaining that skill from a knight in one of the towns, if you press up, your sword will be thrusting in the upward position. That's what upstab is.
Eunos took out Barba. Lite is taking on Barba now. Eunos did it jumpless one cycle. It looks like Lite's going for the same thing. That's pretty impressive.
Not a legit question. Okay. Didn't know if it wasn't.
Sheepdog making his way to that final Rebanak
He might got
rider.
a ceiling walk. Yep, he did. Nice.
Hey, he's walking on life bars. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Look, a fish bridge.
Oh, look. Jeez, yeah. Nice. Sheepdog employing the fire strategy, which is, I don't think I say a dying strategy, but you kind of see less and less runners doing that nowadays. It was a very popular strategy for a while, but after the cold strategy, or what we call, or the Vaughn strat that Vaughn came up with, like most of the runners will do that, where you don't cast fire, but rather do a little bit of a delay on purpose. Yeah, Vaughn visibly upset seeing somebody do fire strats in that room.
Yeah, I think they still look cool. I think that's a valuable thing. Eunos is leaving the final village, Old Kasuto, as Lite gets the final spell in that same village. The Thunder Spell, the spell required to show the face of Thunderbird.
One might even say the most powerful magic.
If it's the most powerful, what's that old man doing hiding in a basement of a house of a deserted town?
Exactly, yeah.
Use your spell, dude.
Question.
Get out of that town. Whatever. Alright, as Eunos makes his way to the Valley of Death. What a place. You got the skip in the overworld and is heading straight out, hoping to finish this game up in the Golden Palace.
Question is, what consoles are Lite, Eunos, and Sheepdog using? I'm not sure on Sheepdog and Eunos, but I'm fairly sure Lite has an RGB modded Famicom. 80% sure.
Sheepdog did not get the one cycle Barba, but it got it once he came back. And Concision just got the cross. Concision's holding up. Concision's been through some, took some hits earlier and such with the deaths, but
Yeah,
right there, right
yeah,
in the
he's taking it like a champ for sure, and he's holding his own. So like you say, I agree. A little bit RNG and stuff was rough for him. Had some bad luck, but he's sticking with it. And
it's his story. He's sticking to it.
Ooh, he missed that 4-tile jump, which sucks. But right, he has plenty of magic.
What a lot. So when it comes to the level ups, right? You'll notice Lite, Eunos, and Sheepdog at 876. Now that's kind of how you approach the Great Palace or whatever, Golden Palace. And then a lot of guys have it set up so that their Magic 8 actually doesn't get powered up until right when they need it.
Yep.
Thereby refilling their magic bar.
Yep. That's the preferred method. In fact, that's what you see Eunos as he intentionally. That 5975 is pretty ideal.
Okay.
Lite will likely kill this red Lizalfos, resulting in 5994. So what you want to try to do is save that Magic 8 level up for as late as you can in this palace. Now, in a race standpoint, it might be a little bit different, but if you're just doing runs or PB attempts, what you would try to do is not kill the enemies and try to save that for even possibly the last Mew on the bridge, if you can help it. It's very helpful to do it that way.
Those Mews, those little enemies, they give you just a couple points, which get you over that bar.
10 points apiece. Except for you have to watch your small drop, because if you're not paying attention, one of them could be a drop, which could likely end up being a jar.
Which would be no points.
Exactly.
Which would thereby ruin your whole plan.
Exactly. I have definitely miscounted, and had one of those Mews be a jar, and then make that last drop at 59.95. I've definitely done that more than once, and I'm sure all these runners have done the same thing.
What's amazing to me is, like, that basically means you have to avoid killing these enemies. Like, you can only stun them. Like, Eunos is right there on the edge of 59.95 now. Having killed, I think it was the Rawhead or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So,
he should be fine. There's going to be a room with 2 ropes and some heads as well that he probably will. He'll skip both ropes and as well as the heads, likely.
Just amazing to me the precision in which these guys pay attention to that stuff.
This room here, he's gonna jump that one. He's gonna just stun this head, jump this one. And he's likely either going to save the level up for either the last bot before the spicy chicken, or actually he actually had -10 there because that head took his points. But
okay, yeah, that could be helpful. I think. My thing is, I'm like out for my life, so like I kill everything. It's like, hey, it's gonna kill me. Okay, Lite took his power up in magic. He killed something.
Cat says, nice fight there for Concision.
Yeah, there was a one cycle.
Yeah, was it a one cycle? Nice, very nice. As Sheepdog also enters the Great Palace.
Yep, all of the runners are now poised for the final boss.
Nice back tink there from Lite. That's beautiful. Jumped mid-air and was able to tink that sword that we call Scott Bicula threw at them.
Not just the offense, but your defense has to be on. You have to be able to turn and face all these things coming at you and know which things you just have to avoid and which ones you can block.
Eunos just tried to do a strategy that he came up with, actually, which is really awesome, which is you do a side stab on that big bubble as you go up the stairway.
Okay.
I'm not fairly sure he's the one who come up with it. It actually makes it quite a bit faster than doing an up stab. And if you're able to do it correctly, I think for some reason he maybe just had an input error. He tried to like crouch stab. You want to do a standing stab.
I guess I should put that in chat. Squeesh.
Squeesh. Good squeesh. We'll have 4 different squeeshes here.
Yeah.
All surrounded by Wii.
All surrounded by Wii.
Yep.
All right, so Sheepdog's got his 876, and he's at 5945. So I mean, that seems like the range, right? He seems like
He'll
he'd be
still
good.
be, yeah. So he's still yet to, he taken unfortunate death, visibly upset, of course. Oh, he still has 3 lives, so he's not in danger of game overing or anything, but he's still obviously don't want to take that.
Just a bit of a time loss.
Yeah, so he had that bot to kill, and he still has the 2 ropes in the room that you saw Eunos skip the ropes with.
Man, I blinked and I missed Eunos' fight against Thunderbird. Now we got Lite against Thunderbird. Eunos is taking on the final enemy. The game is coming to an end.
Lite also had a 1 cycle on T-Bird right there. Very nice.
Wow. These 1 cycles, the enemy just does their thing once, and you're able to get enough hits in there before they even come back for a second. And that's it for Eunos.
GG's Eunos. Looks like, was that a race time of something right around 117 flat? I'm not quite sure. I didn't see it.
I mean, yeah. What keeps track of that? Race time?
Yeah, race time. According to race time, Eunos had a finish time of 1:17:01, and Lite had a finish time of 1:17:21. So GG's to both of them.
Yeah. Sheepdog not far behind. Concision hasn't entered Golden Palace yet, but they're almost there.
Very soon. Yeah.
Just like we thought, this is a really close race. I mean, we're talking about Eunos and Lite. We're how many seconds off? 20?
Yep, exactly 20 seconds. I expected that from Eunos and Lite. They're both very, very skilled runners and very similarly skilled runners, so I expected those two to be very close the whole time, which they were.
There was a Sheepdog with the side slap on the bubble. Also, like, blocking Tinks. That was a pretty impressive room.
Yep. Yeah.
And Concision making his way.
That side stab on that bubble is like the best thing since sliced bread. Yeah, I would recommend learning that. It's very cool.
Okay. Because the upstab would just kind of knock you back down. So
well, the upstab does it does not only does it take longer, but I'm sure you've had patterns to where the blue bird is throwing the knives from behind you,
Yep.
And so if you get up to the step and you have knives coming behind you, the traditional way would be to just duck and crouch and block the beams and let the bubble fly over your head.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Whereas if you know the strategy where you can stab the bubble from the side, you don't have to wait for those swords. You just stab the bubble from the side and keep going. So when you have that pattern where he's throwing knives at you, it actually it's doubly helpful.
Okay. Wow, I didn't know that.
Right. We have Lite in here with us, I believe.
Yo.
Welcome.
GG's.
Thanks. I just see Sheepdog on T-Bird.
Yep, Sheepdog just finished T-Bird. Great stuff. You 1-cycled T-Bird, did you not?
Yeah, that was the one thing I did correctly.
How about taking on Magic 2 early on, before the Death Mountain?
Oh yeah, when that happened, I was like, I guess I just go 3-2-1, and then I was like, Life 2 is just 50 XP. I guess I just still take the Life 2, but yeah, the Magic 2 was a mistake. The Life 2 after that was like on purpose, because it's like 50 XP, so whatever. You can make that up with a bubble.
I didn't think the Magic 2 was in any way intentional. Was it just
No.
a miscue or something?
Yeah, I hit down too early, so it just didn't go to the Life 2.
None of you got attack 4, by the way. Nobody, all 4 of you left P1 with attack 3.
Yeah, this was going to be a forced attack 3 run, but I got the 50 bag, so I was like, okay, I'll try to get attack 4.
Yeah, and then you got double jarred, right?
Yeah, I messed up the first one. I think I went fast because I don't like to go for the 165 frame kill on it. I go for a way earlier one that's not consistent, but I just don't get the 165 often. But I think I messed up in a way that put me on 164. So I went fast and then slowed down, and it messed it up.
Gotcha.
So it's my fault. I realize it's my first run of the year though. Like I in practice I hadn't even gotten past Western Continent, so like I was really annoyed during the whole run, but I'm like, I guess everyone's getting a 77 for their first practice
I got
run,
a
so I can't be
77.
mad.
You actually beat me. I think what was mine? 77-27 or something for my first race.
Okay.
That's like the worst I've had in like a year and a half, honestly. So yeah, don't feel bad at all.
Yeah,
So.
Lordo, same thing. I saw him he's like, I can't stop getting 77.
Right. I was wondering that. I hadn't seen you stream or anything, so I was wondering if you had been practicing offline or whatever, but I guess not, huh? Haven't really?
No, I did. I got a new controller and I took 2 hours to break it in, but I stopped on the Western continent. I was practicing like low attack stuff.
Looks like Eunos might be in our chat.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, Eunos, great job, man. Good game.
Good. Jeej.
Big
GG,
G.
you know.
You gotten anything better than a 77 this year, Eunos?
That's only my second completed run of the whole year, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, what was your first run though? What time was that?
The one right before this was like I don't know, I think it was like a 118, 119. I had a lot of things go wrong, like dying on the screen before the boots in my practice run. And when you respawn, you fall down if you don't ferry.
Yes.
So yeah, that was cool. It was good.
Jay-
Good learning experience.
Jay and I, joking, both got the pleasure of watching Eunos sweat it out as he got the ocean heart.
I knew I was
Freaking-
making it.
You were just, that was all a ploy, huh?
It was all for show. It was all for show.
Okay.
I didn't
had the same
see
thing.
it until I looked over at Eunos and I saw you like visibly shaken up about something, and I'm like, "What's this about?" And then you got into town, and then immediately had the level up come up, and I'm like,
that's
"Oh, that's what it was." Like he kind of
I
really
had-
closed on that.
13 frames to spare. It was all good.
I had like 5 frames on mine because
I
I
thought
was
you
like
were
80.
well.
I was 89 something leaving the water screen.
89-21 or something. It was.
Yeah, they said you were. But you had the 1 in the ones digit, and that 1, you get 9 frames additional for that because it's got to tick up by once to get to 0. So,
Once I got
had
into
the 1 as
town, there
well.
was it was so many frames. It must have been 9 frames or something.
As we watched Concision took down Thunderbird at a pretty good, maybe 2 cycles, something like that. Damageless from the looks of it, so good fight there.
Yeah, he's only a minute and a half off of PB, so that's pretty good for a race. Like staying within
Nice.
a minute or two of PB is
Less
always
than that,
good.
right? I thought it looked like just over a minute behind PB pace. His PB.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, no, it all looked really good. All you runners really holding it together.
You'll
Making it
PB
through.
this season at least once.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Cool,
all right,
and
yeah,
that's it.
GG's. Yeah, so like looking at his splits, he actually he missed his PB by just over a minute. So in a race setting, that's
Nice.
really good.
It is good.
Faster dot done.
In fact, he actually had quite a bit of trouble early on. He had some extra deaths. He died at least twice unintentionally early on. Had some bad luck with encounter and such. So, but he stuck with it and took it like a champ. So GG's Concision.
What's up, everyone?
Yo,
Hey, hey.
GG.
GG's.
GG's. Lite, Eunos, Sheepdog.
Thank you. Good game.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
I had a lot of encounters in the.
soon, Concision.
No, sorry, what's that, Jay?
Sub 80 soon. It's coming for sure.
Oh, yeah, soonish. We'll see.
Soonish, yeah, gotcha.
I mean, even with Attack 3, you could do it.
Yeah, I had PB very alive after P4, and I was 10 seconds behind PB leading P4, and that was with 2 really bad early game deaths. And then I kind of fell apart in P5. But then it didn't matter because my like hidden town walk was terrible, so I lost like 30 seconds there anyway. But no, it was a good run. I was a little bit nervous at the start, but I settled in.
Good. Yeah, after the early game in a race, it's like the early game always kind of sucks, and then you settle in. That's how I feel about racing in this game.
Early game's tough. It's the toughest part of. I mean, there's plenty of hard stuff later, but like the early game's full of difficult stuff because you're not overpowered yet.
Yeah.
I basically
Relative.
I can't even breathe right until I'm out of P1. You know, it's
Yeah,
just like it's
same.
so nerve wracking. Especially like in Magic Cave, or if you're trying to do Bubble or whatever, and even in P1, you're just trying
Yeah.
not to die. And then once you finally like make that last hit on Horsehead, you're like, all right, I'm okay now. Like I can breathe. You know, just like kind of coast from here. You know, but not until you actually land that last hit on Horsehead.
Imagine if you can get a life refill at the gem after Horsehead.
Right, right.
Hey, I wanted to say, Sheepdog looks like he's in chat. I want to say hey to Sheepdog. Great job, man. I wanted to say, Sheepdog looks like he's in chat. I want to say hey to Sheepdog. Great job.
A sheepdog.
Hello.
Double G.
GG.
GG Sheep.
Yep.
Thank you, GG's, Eunos, and everybody.
They're good.
I
game
had a
sheep.
rough run.
Yeah. I think we all sort of had a rough run
Yep.
after a certain point. It was pretty, it's warm-up season. The early tournament's always for warm-up.
Yep, for sure. However, correct me if I'm wrong though, I think the averages do count though, right? Not
Yeah.
just because if it's a win, but you're also eventually might be like when we try to go for seeding in the brackets, your averages now actually do count, correct?
Yeah, record first, then average. So like if you're 3-0 up against Oracle's 3-0 and he's got all 75s, then he's going to be first seed, for instance.
Right.
So I didn't know that my my capture this wasn't showing anything.
Oh, right in the very beginning. That was wild.
Yeah. But actually happy because I went for the forest tile and I misleveled and took life 2.
Oh,
What to start to a race. And then Aaron wrote in my chat that I had to check. So I had to stop to kind of disable and enable capture, and then it worked. So, and then all of a sudden I didn't know where I was in Palace 1, so I took one extra Stalfos, and that messed up the drop. So I had a drop in right before the candle.
We were wondering what happened. We didn't because there's so many people to watch. We saw that your drop was definitely on the wrong enemy, and we were like, "How in the world did that happen?"
Yeah, that's how that happened.
How would that happen?
He killed a Stalfo instead of jumping over it early on.
Yeah, the one before the elevator.
Yeah. Okay, I was thinking like you got like a whole extra one and the drops just like on completely wrong enemies later or something. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, only a little off, but man, when his feed came to it, so Sheepdog's feed wasn't going. We just saw 3 guys running, and Sheepdog just had a fairy or something. It was weird. And then finally, when it came to, we're like seeing just random stuff. It was just so funny. Like a drop right before the candle. What is he doing?
Oh,
yeah,
that's classic right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but great job, guys. I'm gonna sign off, but thank you all for coming.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
coming here.
thanks for coming, Joe. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you,
thank you.
Restream. Thank you, Baseball. Thank you, Toms.
Thanks, Baseball.
And thank you, Runners.
I will go to bed. Good night.
Night, Sheepdog. Yeah, thanks.
Norway. Thanks, Baseball.
Thank you, Baseball. Thanks, Restream.
Yeah, thanks to chat. When is the next game? I think we got one tonight, right?
8:30.
Yes.
All right.
So that's going to be over at the Cheese Ball, and we're actually also going to do yet another 4-way.
Hell yeah.
So two different races
Nice.
at the Cheese Ball, and she and I'll also be doing cam. So I'll have the pleasure of saying I'm going to be involved with 2 4-ways today. How about that?
Different ones too.
Exactly.
Get around.
Busy weekend. Good for you,
Yes.
man. Jeez. All right. I was really jazzed. This was a 4-way, and we realized it's going to be, so that's awesome. All right. Peace out.
So
Thank
for
you.
the outro, we got
man.
Baseball says just tell her when to hand it over.
That's me.
Right.
Hi.
I didn't know. Did you guys have any other shout outs or anything before we hand it?
Yeah, shout outs to my mom. She's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, cool mom.
Yeah, she's awesome. That's it.
All right, then let's hand it over to Baseball to end the stream.
All good. Yep. All yours,
All right.
Baseball.
Thanks. Great race, everybody. Thanks so much. I've missed Z2. I'm glad I'm back. So can't wait for more. Thanks to our runners today, Concision, Lite, Sheep, and Eunos. Great runs. Thank you to our commentators, Jay and Joe. Really fun. Oh, I need to put in the Twitches. I'll do that later. Okay. Yes, make sure you watch the next race that's at 8:30 tonight on Cheeseball stream. The link is in the chat. So make sure you watch that. And yeah, tons more Z2 coming up. For now, I'm gonna send y'all over to Eon's stream. She is doing some Z2 all keys D-Rust for the tournament. Perfect. So see you in the next race. Bye.